construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Cut for three. You're going to go out of here. That's the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Kind of feel like it's with Austin and Tybo. Stricky putting that work in between breaks. Another reason you need the stream. Watch a workout video with Strick. Good stuff, man. Way to go.
I'm trying to get right, man. My birthday's coming up in 2 months, and I turned 50, so I've really been striving for excellence. And one of the things we learn is that metabolism as we get older begins to slow up, that testosterone starts to slow down. So you've just got to get outside. You got to move around. You got to get back active because you used to just be able to wake up, Austin, go into a gym, start jumping. You used to just wake up, go outside, get in the gym, just start playing for hours. And you got to kind of stay active. And so I've been eating better and just been trying to get myself right since my birthday's coming up. I want to be on a beach somewhere where I can just take the shirt off again, you know.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks, bro.
Killing it. Proud of you.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. Don't just do the work. You got to reward yourself too. Best way to do that, Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul.
For the soul. There's nothing better to go down to Mary Ellen's, have a wonderful meal. Let them know that we on the block had sent you down there, and listen, they'll take really good care of you. Not only will they feed you, but they will love on you, and especially if you let them know that Strick and Austin sent you down. Go down and see them, 27th and Pine Lake. The menu is phenomenal, by the way. So shout out to Charles and the crew, Shunda, and all of you guys. Thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely. If you have any thoughts on anything we're going to be talking about throughout the show, let us know. 402-464-5685. That's the Sartor Heyman text line. Give us a call on the Honda of Lincoln hotline as well, or drop a comment. You guys have been really active on the streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your thoughts any of those ways. Plenty to get to here at this show, Strike. I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here because I think our original first topic needs a little bit more time to flesh out. I just saw this pop across the timeline, and a guy that we've talked with Brian Munson a lot about is Brandon Baker, the huge offensive tackle out of Mater Dei in California, 6'5", 285, 290 type of guy, has announced that he's coming to Lincoln on an official. He also announced his commitment date, and that'll be coming on September the 24th at 5 o'clock Pacific time, or at 6 o'clock. I can't tell from the graphic. It's very close together. 6 o'clock Pacific time. Okay, so 8 o'clock Central time on September 24th. Brandon Baker, the offensive tackle, will be announcing his commitment. He would be the first 5-star this coaching staff gets at Nebraska. And I think that would be a huge get for the team, obviously, because we've talked a lot about the offensive line, how it needs to improve. But too, I think what Matt Rule and his staff need to do is combine their developmental attitude and tendencies with pulling in some of those bigger fish. They swung and missed with Dylan Raiola. Can't necessarily fault them for that one. They tried. Development is good, but as we saw Colorado do, you can be a developmental program, but sometimes you just need athletes too.
Yeah, there's no question. I think too that sometimes that the athlete has to not only believe in the staff, because what can sometimes happen is the athlete believes more in himself than he does in the staff. I think it has to be a great combination of both, meaning that they hear the staff, but they're not listening to the staff. You understand?
Yeah.
Is because, I know a little bit more. Now, here's what I say. This is where I was a little bit worried. Tell me his name. Because this is where I have a little bit of trouble, and that's why my partner's here for me. The receivers coach for us here at Nebraska now.
Garrett McGuire.
Garrett McGuire. This is why I was a little bit worried. I thought it could work one of two ways. I thought it could work because there's some kind of closeness as far as, commonalities in age and so
understanding
forth.
what they're into.
You know what I mean? But also I was worried because it could also mean that there's listening because you're coach, but respect and what you think as opposed to what I know and what I've learned or what I'm working on with my coach, my back home and the drills and stuff that I've done there. You start to question because of that, right? So this is where I think what you just said, that you can have that talent, but if they also believe in the message and the mission, you can get more out of that with talent too. You can always coach up and get better, but that's that hyperbolic part that I was talking about, where talent with belief and respect can hyperbolically take you somewhere, whereas not necessarily talent, but good coaching can slowly begin to take you there. So it's a matter of what type of patience Nebraska has for that type of system.
The other interesting part, let's tease this out. Say Nebraska gets Brandon Baker. It would be cool if he's able to step on the field and play on day one. But coming from the West Coast, I mean, even at 6'5", almost 300 pounds right now, there is an adjustment from high school to college.
Question.
We saw Turner Corcoran get thrown on the field essentially from day one. Bryce Benhart saw a lot of snaps essentially from day one. Hymas and Farniok, guys that got drafted not long ago, saw a lot of time when they were young. Cam Jurgens, it took a year as he transitioned from tight end to center, but played right away after that. If Nebraska gets Brandon Baker, I'm okay with him sitting a year. Make sure he's physically ready. Make sure he knows the checks. He knows the calls, because so many times, Strick, we've seen young guys put out on that island at left tackle, left to sink or swim, and it's been a lot of sinking, not a lot of swimming.
Yeah, and it's a necessary get, though. I think you need to get some of those wins. I think the struggles that have happened out there right now that we're having with Corcoran, I think there's some people that he got graded a 0, which is crazy to me, right? You've been here long enough now. You've been in the system. You've got to be better, especially at that is one of the most important positions out there on the field. Outside of center, that left side, that protection of the backside of a right-handed quarterback is very important, because there's so much blind act, especially a quarterback like Jeff Sims right now, to me, that doesn't have feel. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Like there's certain quarterback. This is one of the things that you saw. Like, for example, I just give you, and I hate to make you guys think that I'm just talking about Shador, and I mean, I just give an example.
It's the opponent coming
against, he drops back, and I remember a situation, and I'm just talking about field, so I'm just remembering a specific play that I saw, but he drops back, just the feel of something happening on this backside. Like, he may have got a glance of it out of a periphery, but just that feel, and he ends up taking a step and spinning out, which kind of lost the tackle, but the tackle was in a good enough space to re-angle back to him, would have sacked him, but he then felt again, stopped, saw his tackle coming, and then his tackle kicks out the guy, and he's able to make a play downfield. I just don't know if Jeff Sims has that. and I haven't seen it. So that's why that's important on that left side. And that's why I think we need somebody that we can get part of the building process that Coach Rule wants to do here at Nebraska. I'm hoping that we can find guys like that with that kind of talent, that kind of feel, that kind of understanding, that kind of wisdom and knowledge, but then grow into the system because they're getting their body and their mind right in preparation for college football.
I think it's important to mention this aspect of the recruitment as well. This hasn't been just a one-year recruitment. And so that's why I think it's important for Brandon Baker's recruitment specifically that Donovan Raiola is still here as the offensive line coach. It's not like Nebraska just got in on this guy a couple weeks ago and they're lucky to get an official visit. It speaks volumes to me about Donovan Raiola and his connection with Brandon Baker that he's still taking this official visit. Yeah. If Donovan Raiola would have, left after 1 year, Matt Rule brings his own guy in.
You'd probably lose that.
I don't think there's no B.
Yeah, I think you lose that. And they've got to. This is why games like this on this stage are so important. Oh, it would have been so great for them to win that first game because you come on this stage at a 1-1 or 1-0 record against a potential. It could have easily been swapped.
Oh, easily.
Colorado could have been on the other side. Nebraska could have been on the positive side of the victory column. But with the hype on this stage, everybody is watching. Everybody is watching because of everything that's going on there in Colorado, but everybody also is trying to see, okay, what is this Nebraska team with Rule under his directions made of? Is there a place for me to where I can fit? Is there something about them that if I put myself in my position that I can make an impact? So those are the things that people are watching for. If it ends up being a blowout, it's going to do Nebraska a disservice because it's not going to get easier. You're not going to get that same visibility on the next 2 home games. It may pop back out in Michigan, but then if you come up short in a Michigan game again, it's just going to continue to lose savor, right?
Big time.
It's like watching a movie. Like let me give you an example. I mean, some of you on the text line, shout out on the text line if you've watched this movie, because then I think you would understand. 402-464-5685. There was such hype in this movie back in the day. And here's the name of this movie. Shout out if you understand what I'm saying. Just say, Stricky, I get it, or something. You know what I mean? The Blair Witch Project was out. And they were hyping this movie up. Yes, realistic. It was, it made you feel like you were in the movie. You can understand being out and camping. And it was the biggest flop of a movie to me that I've ever seen in my life. It was a headache. It was a lot of bobbing and weaving. The budget was probably 50, 60 grand. And because of the hype, it made millions of dollars. But I guarantee, but the people that saw it, the tomatoes went, I don't know what it is, the bad tomato, rotten tomatoes. It went up very quickly. And that's what it feels like if Nebraska comes up short badly in this game. And then you're going to lose savor. You're going to be like, oh, that was just a bad movie. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
We got a score prediction, 24-17 Nebraska from Thomas on the Facebook stream.
All right.
Let's go with it. Before we get to break, Strick, saw this from Notorious B.I.B. Someone says they get it. 2188 says, I saw it was trash.
Yeah.
So they're with you. Notorious B.I.B. has a couple things. Says it's the dumbest movie he ever saw. But also on Colorado, were they any good at basketball when you played, and did their players talk smack?
What was that?
Colorado. Were they any good at basketball when you were here, and did their players talk smack?
So they were all right? They weren't bad. So Chauncey Billups was there.
Right.
One of my close teammates, Michael Finley, one of his best friends ended up going to Colorado. So what they had great scores, which was in my zone. Those are the guys that I was going to get. So you hear the hype of Chauncey Billups and this freshman, I'm like, yeah, you got to see me, my boy. And then Donnie Boyce, who was Michael Finley's best friend, perennial scorers, like, yeah, I got you too. So it was that challenge for me as opposed to them being super good. You know what I mean? They were all right. They weren't just, bad, but they weren't like that good. They had good players, just wasn't that good.
not full team concept all the time.
You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for tapping in on the Sauter Heyman text line, because I wanted to give you an understanding, because you guys, in seeing that movie, you can understand what I'm saying about this Husker team, and on this stage of hype, and everybody watching, and everybody wants to tune in, and the tickets being $380 and better than the Texas and the freaking Alabama game, which is going to be a good game. But you have that situation, man, and then all of a sudden you lose savor because it's a bad movie. 3 turnovers, fumbles, your big plays, you get beat 56-10. And I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm just saying if that was to happen, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I'm hoping it's, a lot better than that.
DEFCON 1 if that does happen.
Yeah.
Good stuff on the Sauter Heyman text line. A lot of stuff to get to. Ben sent something interesting that I want to get to in the second hour. So Ben, stay tuned. I think that's going to kick off a good discussion. We'll get back to that. But the Knight Commission and what it, really put out yesterday, what it projects, I think is scary. And it's something I think we need to have a conversation about. Could we get to a point where Power 5 schools as a whole are paying their college football coaches more than all their student athletes? We're going to discuss that and what it could mean next.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate and barbecue needs. Enjoy all natural, fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breast for just $1.99 per pound. USDA choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.99 per pound. And hickory smoked bacon for just $3.99 per 16-ounce package. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't delay. Visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Need service on your home air conditioner? No matter what brand you have, just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop feed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
So, I just got the State Farm personal price plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Brown Shoe Fit has all types of shoes for you to excel this fall. Check out their large variety of tennis shoes and dress shoes in brands like Brooks, Hoka, Merrell, On, and many more. Browns has the local professionals to get the proper fit, aided by their high-tech foot scanner by Atrex. Stop by Brown Shoe Fit today, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln, or check out their options online at brownshoefitco.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info, or call 402-467-1627.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. Austin Norman, Eastrick with you here for the next hour and a half or so. Strick, I saw this flash across the timeline on Twitter, and it's kind of fascinating. According to Bet Online, there is now more cash on the Colorado spread than the spread for all 32 NFL teams.
Wow.
For Saturday's game.
And it's only still 3.5?
As far as I can tell.
Wow. And it's for Colorado to beat that spread.
There's more money on Colorado than every NFL team.
Wow. That's crazy. So what does that tell you?
A lot of belief in Prime.
There's a lot of belief in what's going to happen there. I mean, for them, Rico, pop real quick. Jump. So Rico, you there?
Hello.
Okay, so check this out. Just quick thing, because you guys do this, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing more of this on our crossovers, right?
Okay.
So what my partner Austin Orman just told me was there's more money right now on the Colorado game than all the NFL for that spread. So what does that tell you? That's a what? A super what? A super lock. I mean, but that's what I mean. In essence, would you agree?
Yeah,
that's what that like. In people's minds right now. Because if those of you who are listening for the first time, once again, we appreciate you, all of you that are listening, whether it be on the stream or also, one of the things that we do sometimes on our crossovers is we'll get together and we'll talk about some of the games, the upcoming games, and we used to do some of the regular games, but we're doing the offsuit games now where we'll kind of do the spreads and we'll bet and see who has the best record at the end of the year, so forth and so on. And to us, what just happened with what Austin just shared with me is in fact a super lock.
That's what it would seem like. It seems like people are very confident in the Colorado Buffaloes taking down the Nebraska Cornhuskers. It's very strange how confident the public seems to be that Coach Prime and the Buffaloes will easily dispatch of Rule and the Cornhuskers. I think the spread is
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, if it hasn't changed, I remember it's 3.5.
I mean, that kind of goes in order with how Nebraska has been losing games lately. Is just a nice little 3-point loss. So, look, it's interesting. It's very, I don't know. I don't know. I have no words for how much money is actually being put on this game. It's ridiculous for two teams that have new coaches, new players, and nobody actually knows. So.
Thanks, Rico. We appreciate that. So here's the thing, Austin, and I'm gonna let you chime in. So for me, right, that says a few things. One, the bettors know something too. And I think it may go alongside with what Rico said, it's a flip of what the games were from Minnesota to them, just a little bit higher of a number. My thing is, and throw it out there, because I see some of you guys are throwing out scores like 30-31.
We had 24-17.
So if you're throwing out that kind of scoring numbers, if you in essence in your mind have the Huskers over 21 points, I would love to hear from you on the Sauter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685, how we're going to get there. Because how do you envision that? And I'm going to throw it to you. How do you envision that we can get above 21 points in a game like this?
First of all, I want to shout out AA Ron, says it's all just Iowa athletes betting on that game. That's funny.
That's funny.
Well played.
That is funny. Great play.
To me, the way Nebraska gets to 21 points is through that consistent execution from first quarter to fourth quarter and commitment to a game plan, right? I don't think Nebraska wants as many possessions in this game as Colorado does. But if you're going to limit the number of possessions, that means you have to be that much more efficient on a per possession basis. Say Nebraska only gets the ball 9 times again. That's the same number of drives it had against Minnesota. To get to 21 points, that's scoring on at least 3 drives, maybe 4 or 5, depending on how many field goals you end up kicking. So if I'm Nebraska, my game plan is to run the ball, to not give up on it. But you run the risk then of, if you're trying to play few drives, are you able to score as efficiently as Colorado? We know that's a big play offense, right? And that's where we've seen teams, even in the NFL, try to keep away from Patrick Mahomes, but giving him less drives doesn't necessarily matter if he's still scoring the same percentage of the time.
Yeah. I mean, if we can't stop, because that's what it's gonna boil down to. I think more than anything, we've got to play field position. We've got to make them go a long way. We've got to move the chains, because we've got to make sure that our defense is getting rest for the running. Because one of the things you talked about is side to side. To run side to side requires a lot of energy. If you're going to be going side to side in a game, you don't want to have to be doing it in 2 or 3 or 4 3-and-out situations, where you're now wearing out, trying to put pressure, which is needed against a guy like Shedeur Sanders. You're not going to if I'm telling you, he's going to eat you alive if he's just able to stand back there. I'm hoping that Coach White dials up some funkiness in this game in order to, really confuse, throw some wrinkles, because if we don't hang in there with, if we don't hang in this game with our energy, with our lungs, and getting on and off this field in the first half, they're going to make adjustments. So you want to try to be in the mix and then have another set of wrinkles ready, because they're going to make adjustments otherwise.
Have wrinkles, have adjustments, but don't be too cute,
Yeah,
right? You were
that
asking
part.
too, does Nebraska have another trick play in store? Maybe, but I think if you try to get cute, that plays into Colorado's hands. It worked against Minnesota. I mean, it was almost disastrous. So it almost didn't work. But it seems like your base, simple plays could be enough to win you the game. Run it down their throats for 4 yards a carry.
Pause.
I said run it. I said run it. I'm watching my phrasing. I'm trying to get better about that. But for 4 yards at a time, right? 4 in the first quarter, hopefully turns into 5 or 6 by the third quarter. Maybe you do get a big play. Maybe you do hit a home run ball.
Yeah.
But speed isn't your advantage. Playing this game horizontally is Colorado's advantage. Have your offensive line get that push, get vertical. I even think Nebraska's defensive line can do some things against Colorado's offensive line. You're going to start both Lenhart and Gunnarsson, it sounds like, with Robinson suspended for the first half. But to me, this is a big game for Nebraska's defensive line. Get that push and pressure Shedeur Sanders a little bit.
Yeah.
He looked pretty poised, but every quarterback, once they take enough hits, every quarterback is worse under pressure than they are in a clean pocket.
That's a part. And that is true. And what I would appreciate too is, listen, I'm going to give kudos and credence to what they've been coached to do, because this looks like a totally different and disciplined defense that I've seen before, right? Their lanes are a lot more true. Their gap integrity is a lot better. Their gang tackling. There's a lot of things that I've seen that is better in this unit that I've seen in the past units of frustration. So that's one thing that I could appreciate.
It's hilarious seeing you guys on the text line not knowingly kind of go back and forth with each other, have different opinions. That's why we love you guys. There's some saying that Nebraska wins. There's not a doubt in their mind because they'll be able to Big Ten the heck out of it, kind of lead into that Big Ten identity. There are others saying Nebraska is going to get boat raced. And there's some that are in between. And that's just kind of the nature of the beast. We'll give our final predictions and game plans and everything tomorrow on the show. But I can't find the text right now, Strick, but someone essentially said, I kind of feel like we're overreacting to week one in both ways. And that's kind of where I fall, right? I don't think Colorado is as good as it looked. I think TCU played into their hands some. I don't think Nebraska is as bad as it looked.
Yeah.
Right. I think we're just so emotionally attached to Nebraska. We're so used to being let down and scared by what's the worst thing that's going to happen. Don't let that
deter
fool
you.
Right. Don't let week one fool you. But also, like, don't let me tell you right now, Nebraska absolutely wins this game. There's no way they lose. Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows because week one happened. We saw the bad, but it's not all doom and gloom either. There's a path, a realistic path for Nebraska to win this game. It'll take something we haven't seen out of the Huskers in a while, but improbable or not likely, or you don't have faith in it is different than impossible.
That part. Yeah, I would have to agree with you on it. I'm excited, though. I'm excited. I'll be at Blair
Witch Project.
Gosh, Blur Witch Project. I'll be at the Blur Witch Project. I will be there in the building. I just couldn't do it, man. I just could not see myself doing the 400. I would have felt like I was James Harden going into the spot and just that just wasn't a good look for me. I didn't want to be that. I did not want to be that, because I can really enjoy a good time with you and the folks. If some of you are out there, you don't find yourself getting into the stadium, I'll be at Blur. Let me just say that. And I'm going to be there just having a good time, a few cocktails and the TVs and watching. And I think the weather's going to be beautiful too. I think it's going to be a beautiful day. I mean, it's supposed to be in a low 80s, mid 80s. So it's going to be a great time out there. Come through. If you're out there, shout out, say what's up. The ticket will be in the building.
Absolutely. We're in the building here in Lincoln, getting ready for the shootout with Strick. That's right. Call now, 402-464-5685. Champs in the building. He got the win last time out. Take him down if you think you can. 402-464-5685. $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings is the prize if you're able to do that. We'll play the shootout after this.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs. You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer. Usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Need service on your home air conditioner? Call the company Lincoln has counted on since 1952, Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. No matter what brand you have, when you need service, you want Bryant's experienced pros working for you. Friendly NATE certified technicians with the tools, training, and technology to restore your comfort quickly. No matter what brand, when you need service, just call Bryant. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right, 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Get ready for an unforgettable night at Ignite Lincoln 15. On September 14th, Rococo Theater will come alive with captivating stories from diverse voices that inspire change and spark connection. You'll hear from 12 passionate speakers, including our 5 nonprofit finalists who are making a real impact. Be part of this remarkable event that celebrates the power of storytelling. Secure your spot now by purchasing tickets at ignitelincoln.org and join us in creating a brighter future together. Don't miss your chance to experience Ignite Lincoln 15, a night of inspiration, community, and possibility.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies along with more smoke and heat again today. Afternoon high should be around 84. Tonight, we'll see a chance of showers and storms in the low around 59. And tomorrow, we'll see more sunshine along with similar temperatures. Afternoon high should be around 86. Meteorologist Kyle Clicker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
The champ is in the building. Eric Strickland won on Tuesday. We got a rematch. Stricky, we got a rematch. You took Dave down on Tuesday.
Ooh.
Dave is back on the line. He wants revenge. Dave, do you really just want the smoke that bad, or are you that big a fan of Buffalo Wings and Rings?
Well, both, but I think Strick got a freebie there just looking in the paper, seeing the total yardage of Colorado.
I just happened to be a close connection to that game, and I remembered. It just happened
There
to be
you
the
go.
right one. The right question. Well, I couldn't remember if it was 5'10" or I was gonna say maybe 5'01", but I just went with 5'10". But yeah, you would have got me if I would have went with my first mind, which was 5'01".
Well, hopefully that'll happen today.
All right, Dave, hold on the line. We'll give Strick his questions first, and then we'll get to you. All right, Stricky, defend your title here in 3, 2, and 1. They dropped the most places of any team in this week's AP poll. LSU or Clemson?
Clemson.
Yep, they're the lowest ranked SEC team. Texas A&M or Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
It's A&M. Ranked higher this week. Oregon or Utah?
Oregon.
It's Utah. And they were the only ranked team to drop spots in the poll despite winning their game.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Oklahoma.
3, 2, 1.
A good guess of a blue blood, but it is not Oklahoma. Oklahoma jumped up 2 spots after their 73-0 win over Arkansas State. They go from 20th to 18th. A 2-spot drop for Ohio State.
Dang it, I knew it was one of the God, dang it. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm all right.
That's 2 points for Strick. You need, or just one actually.
1
just
point.
one. Dave, 1 to tie, 2 to win. Are you ready for your round of the shootout?
I hope so.
All right, starts here in 3, 2, and 1. They enter this week's AP poll at number 21. Tulane or Duke?
Duke.
Yep. They received more first place votes this week. Florida State or Michigan?
Florida State.
Yep, they're ranked higher this week. Texas or Notre Dame?
Texas.
It's Notre Dame, and they won their game by the most points of any top 5 team in week 1.
Oregon.
It was not Oregon. Oregon is not rated in the top 5. Doesn't matter, though, Dave. You get it done.
Dang it.
Boom, shakalaka.
Give me a hell yeah. I said, give me a hell yeah.
Should have went to another runoff.
Sweet, sweet revenge. Dave, you did it. You're on the throne. You knock him off. How does revenge taste?
Payback's son of a gun.
Good job, Dave. Congratulations.
All right.
Enjoy the drinking.
Hey.
Revenge tastes like buffalo wings and rings. $30 belongs to Dave. Congratulations on the win there. All right, Strick, the tiebreaker question just for fun. 63 voters in the AP poll. How many first place votes in this week's poll went to teams other than Georgia?
How many votes?
Yep, out of 63 went to teams other than Georgia.
For the top spot.
Yes. So Georgia received the most first place votes.
Right.
They're number 1. How many votes did other teams receive?
And
for
how
number
many
1?
total?
Out of 63.
8.
Okay, Strick says 8 votes. Rico, over under.
Okay, what was out of 63? What?
Out of how many first place votes in this week's poll went to teams other than Georgia? And there are 63 total votes.
Ooh,
Strick
nope,
said 8.
That's
over
volleyball
under.
that I was thinking of. Ooh, I'm gonna go 63, 8. That's a good number. I'm gonna go. How many people vote on these things?
I told you 63. There are 63 votes.
Yeah, okay.
63 first.
I mean, my God.
It's hey, calm down.
No.
Over.
You're chill, Stricky. You win. It's under. Florida State got 3. They're ranked number 4. Michigan got 2. They're ranked number 2.
So 5.
So 5 total.
Whew. Good number, Stricky. We're write the number. Write the number, Rico.
Yep.
It goes up.
Hold
there.
on.
It goes
What's
on the board.
what's your overall? Because I've been up front when you've been playing this game.
I know, but we just
Nick's been writing down the
2-0.
It's I know we're 2-0,
Yeah.
but what's your overall?
He's 1-1 this week.
Yeah, 1-1 this
against
week.
Dave.
So
And then
what
his
is the
travel,
record
it's
for
been-
me?
1-0 right now.
Then I'm 3-1.
3-2.
I've only lost once.
Okay.
You can put it on the board.
Yeah. Good job, man. Hey, I don't know, man. I've got to call the Huskers back. There might be a ticket available out there. I still ain't gonna make it rain. But unfortunately, what we got going on?
We gotta get to break. You gotta get your tickets. And we're gonna talk some more Huskers and Buffs. Plenty to get to in hour number 2. Yeah. 3 players potentially available for the Huskers, and just who are the most important players for the Huskers against Colorado and why. Drop those names on the text line 402-464-5685 or in the comment section on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter. More Huskers buffs, maybe some NFL. Hour 2 on the block after this.
Acres, your John Deere dealers, offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't delay. Visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM first. 93.7 The Ticket.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today. With easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Now through September 13th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. Plus, with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th. See Home Club for details.
Our sense of smell can tell us a lot. Fresh baked apple pie, good. Cigarette smoke, bad. But what happens when bad things smell good? When secondhand vape smells like strawberries, or mangoes, or cotton candy, and dangerous chemicals have a disguise. That's when people let their guard down around secondhand smoke, even though it's all full of harmful chemicals.
Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery, online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
So, I just got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. He's going to go out of here. That's the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of the show comes your way here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Worldwide on our free app for your phone. That's right, the app is free. Just search for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store or on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. That's how you can watch any of your favorite 93.7 The Ticket shows live or the replays. As soon as we broadcasted there, you can go back and watch it. So definitely do that. Check out the podcast wherever it is you get them. And the best way to enjoy replays or rebroadcasts of our shows is over a hot, fresh plate of Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, our beloved show sponsor.
Yes. Enjoy it. Southern Sweet Heat still on my mind. Let's go.
Colorado still on your mind at all?
Yeah, man. Got a good call. There's 2 available. I might be able to sneak, and I'm just waiting to confirm. Obviously, I'm here on the ticketfm.com 93.7, and I have to wasn't able to solidify it and lock it down, but they're going to call me back. So we'll see. I might not end up at Blur. I might end up in the stadium. We'll see what it looks like.
You can do both. You can start at Blur and then move inside for the game. I could. There's no saying you can't do both.
You're absolutely right about that.
You're Eric Strickland.
However we get it started. But there's going to be some great Husker faithful out there as well. It'd be nice to meet up with a few and shake some hands and say hello as well.
I do think it's funny. We should mention this. There's an article going around today about how Colorado projects that it'll be 60% Colorado fans and 40% Nebraska fans.
I believe it.
That's just hilarious to me because they're framing it as, haha, look at us. We kept Nebraska fans out. There's going to be more of us than you. Well, yeah, they're supposed to be. It's a home game.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird, isn't it?
40% Nebraska fans, if that's actually what it gets to for Deion's home debut, I think that's already a win for Nebraska. If those fans can stay loud, be involved in the game, I was expecting 80-20 Colorado. I'm not going to lie.
Nebraska travels well. I don't care what it is. They travel well. I mean, you saw what they were able to do for the women's volleyball night. I mean, 92,000 in what? 1 or 3? Mm-hmm. 92,000 people showed up, and listen, I flew out that next morning. They came from everywhere. They were getting on planes, going back to wherever they're going to. So you got to figure that one of the things I loved about the Nebraska fans and why I chose to come here is because you've got Nebraskans or Arizonans for Nebraskans. You've got Californians for Nebraskans. You've got New Yorkers for Nebraskans. I mean, I'm telling you, when we played in the NIT, we're on the East Coast. I mean, we had a bad season as we felt, but we made a nice little run. We didn't have any expectations of anything. But my gosh, when you have St. Joseph's, who's from Philly, it's a short freaking drive. Not even an hour, less than an hour and a half
from there to the Garden.
You have that kind of short drive, but we had more red in there than they had in the building, and that blew me away. That just tells me why this is the case with this. Nebraska travels well, and they're going to show up, and hopefully we'll have something good to see, because I'm really know that the faithful is going to be there. There's no question.
Husker fans, stay on your best behavior. Don't stoop to Colorado level. We've all heard the stories from the 90s and how that's gone over before. Stay above it, rise above it, be classy.
We've always
it's going to be hard.
That's one thing
you can do it. We believe in you.
Anybody that has ever come into the Nebraska stadium or have come into a Nebraska building has always said there's some of the nicest and the best fans, because I've been to some nasty places. There's some nasty fans and people out there. It's crazy, but I think that Nebraska fans will rise above it. There's no question. Yes, Colorado is a very loose, liberal-minded city. They're going to be nasty. You know what I mean? Not to say that liberal people are nasty. I'm just saying their mindset is, brash and brazen and in your face and so forth and so on. And you're probably going to get some of that, especially if there's going to be alcohol in the building. You definitely just be aware. Just be aware. It's going to probably happen. So, stay in and rise above it.
Plenty of Husker fans headed out to Boulder. Again, keep up the good work, be classy. But also 3 Huskers making the trip out to Boulder. Matt Rule said are all available to play in some capacity. We'll start on defense. First of all, Nick Henrich, banged up, didn't play last week. John Bullock gets the start instead of him. I think overall that's good for Nebraska to have a guy like Nick Henrich back. I'm not sure that Colorado's the right type of game for him. I don't know if he has the athleticism necessary to consistently hang against Colorado. I think he would have been better in a Minnesota type of game. The guy I'm excited for, Strick, is Jamari Butler. Chief Borders got the start at Jack. MJ Sherman played. Neither one of them really made an impact. Having another guy that's athletic like Jamari Butler that I think is hungry to finally prove himself and carve out a consistent niche, if he's healthy and full go, maybe he has a game kind of like Javen Wright did at the rover position. I love getting Jamari Butler back for Nebraska.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty good. We know that, like you said, Henrich and Prohaska will be available. How much? I really feel bad for the big fella, but listen, he's dang near 7 foot. It's unfortunate. There's so many roll-up opportunities when you're talking about that kind of size, and it can happen usually at those positions. When it does, it can happen from running backs, running off of tackle. It's just that size and that length. I mean, again, I think one of the things he needed to work on is hips, dropping hips, being lower and leveraging lower than being more straight up in his approaches or his attacks, because that's just something that comes with that size. I think probably some of the tallest were probably 6'8". You got to figure. So you got to think, 2-3 inches taller than that, is what you're dealing with, right? So I'm hoping he can get back and use some of that, but it does work well for you with defensive ends coming off the edge, and you got that long extension. You're able to put some hands on some people, and hopefully we can get to see a little bit of him in this game and get back in shape.
It sounds like he's the one that would play the least of the 3. Sounds like Henrich and Butler are closer to 100%.
Well, the running game with Hendricks is going to definitely be needed.
Right. Absolutely. So I do think there's a role for Prohaska. I just don't know if he gets back in a starting role, especially because he's been banged up basically all fall camp. I don't think Turner Corcoran was bad enough to warrant losing his job right away due to injury. But again, I'm still a proponent of move Corcoran inside, put him at guard, let him be kind of that swing guy if you need him. But it's better to have those 3 guys available, regardless of how much they play. than be without him. Nebraska can bring them all. They can bring 77, 78 guys instead of the 74 they could up to Minnesota. But that to me, Strick, I think really jumps us off into this discussion too. We had it a little bit at the end of happy hour. I think we can reframe it a little bit. Similar track, not the same. Who are the most important players in this matchup for Nebraska? Let's start on offense. To you, who's the most important player for the Nebraska offense to have success against Colorado?
It's definitely got to be, for me, it's got to be Gabe Irvin. And then you've got to work down and you've got to say Jeff Sims. He's got to take care of the ball. I mean, if you have the type of night that you had against Minnesota, it's just not gonna go well for you, especially on the road. Like when you're on the road, there's certain things that you got to do in order to pull off upsets, right? In basketball, it's minimizing turnovers because you try to keep the crowd out of it. It's taking good shots so that you can make sure that you eliminate runs or you can push runs yourself. It's attacking the basket. That means working the ball and getting to the free throw line and taking some of the ease off of that, getting yourself rested and able to continue to stay fresh in your mind, because there are going to be runs from the home team. It's just always going to happen, but you've got to have a mindset of how to stop the bleeding, put a tourniquet on it, or shut off the doggone valve so it's not just pouring out, right? In football, it's the same. You've got to keep the crowd out of it. What gets crowds in it? Mishaps, turnovers, sacks, all the things that you do, big plays, all of those things is what you've got to try to minimize. If you can minimize that, the intensity of the crowd will begin to start to, meal out a little bit, even out a little bit. And if you can do that throughout the game, you give yourselves a chance to win, because guess what? It's important to be able to hear. It's important for the line to be able to know snap counts and slaps, or whatever your silent counts are, to have understanding. It's also a way to just moving the chains, keeps all of those things are important in football, man.
Absolutely. Two Card Monty on the YouTube stream, thanks for tuning in, agrees. He says Irvin and Sims are the top two answers. He picks Fedoni as his sleeper choice. I am not going to say Thomas Fedoni's name until he actually does something.
Yeah.
Until he has a catch, he's just a guy. Give me Nate Borkacher as a guy like that, because I think he's an extra body that can move that one-handed snag you're mentioning. Looking at Colorado's linebackers, they're significantly smaller than Borkacher.
Yeah.
He's not going to be an explosive play guy, but to me, he needs to be option one on 3rd and 7 or less if you have to throw the ball.
Even if you get in the middle of them, sit down and squat. He was open on that doggone post up. Get in there, sit in between the linebackers, be ready to step forward and make a catch.
Hit him in the numbers, fall down, keep the chains moving. I think Nate Borkacher can have a big game if Jeff Sims looks for him, but Strick, more so than any player, I have to go back to some things Matt Rule was talking about at his press conference today. He was asked about getting certain guys more involved in the wide receiving room, but also getting the running game going. And Matt Rule said, we should want to get our running backs more carries. I mean, Gabe Irvin had 7 carries for 55 yards. When a guy averages 8 yards a carry, we should get him the ball more. That, to me, maybe I'm reading too far into it, was directed at Marcus Satterfield.
Yeah.
Matt Rule also said, we'll have to, get Josh Fleeks and Billy Kemp the ball more. I get it. Matt Rule's not calling the plays, but he's the head coach. If he wants guys on the field that he trusts, he should have the final say in that and say, hey, Marcus Satterfield, these are the personnel that I think we trust, right? Let's get these guys on the field. Marcus Satterfield has to have a better game.
Yeah, I agree. And let me throw this out to you and also to the Sauter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. How long? I think there needs to be a bounce back mentally.
Big time.
For who?
Mentally,
who do you think?
Well, the whole team.
I know that, but in the running back room.
AG, Anthony Grant.
AG, right?
AG the second, the real AG.
Right. Yeah, not the Green, but the
Anthony
Grant. But the Grant. Not the Green, but the Grant. Now, I think so here's my question to you. How far in the doghouse, if you're a coach, does he go, or do you try to bring him back out, or is this game too magnanimous for the mental state to try to figure it out if you have it or not? Is it more Ramir Johnson, or is it more Anthony Grant. Just that's how, just throwing it out.
Well, there's a balance there, right? Because you want to play Anthony Graham because you know what the talent level is, you know what he's done before, and you think he can help your team. But also, you can't reward him if he's going to continually fall short, whereas Gabe Ervin and Ramir Johnson have done what's asked of them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Ramir Johnson as a number one every down running back. As a change of pace guy from Gabe Ervin, I think Ramir Johnson does have the speed to get to the sideline on some of Colorado's guys, be a big play threat that we haven't seen Gabe Ervin be consistently yet. Gabe Ervin's going to be your hammer. There's got to be a role for Anthony Grant. You can't just say, oh, you fumbled once in the opener, you're on the bench for the rest of the season, right? He needs those chances to work his way back into your favor. But there's a point where you give him too many carries as chances to prove himself, and not enough for guys like Ervin and Johnson who have done what's asked of them.
Yeah, and I'm going to consistently harp on this because I saw signs of it, and I think, as I'm going to allude to the fact of what you're talking about for Satterfield, is that I want to see Ramir Johnson. I just keep thinking back about the James White and Tom Brady connection and Burkhead and just how effective they are in the pass game. We saw a big first down coming out of the backfield with Ramir Johnson. I think we've got to use him. I think we've got to use him on angle plays, getting out there in open field against the linebackers, running them on outs. So for example, say you have Ramir Johnson on the left side of Jeff Sims. You have Borkacher or whatever, the tight end on that strong side as well. You run a vertical route with the tight end, check the seams, see if something breaks down, and run a deep out with one of the receivers. I don't care who. Run a 10 and
Washington.
out. Run a 10 and out. Any of
Bullock,
them.
yeah.
And then you run Ramir Johnson with an option route to either run him on an out underneath if it's going to be a man coverage, or you run him. I think they're going to probably go more man because they're going to try to stop the run. So that's just my opinion. Or you run him on an angle to get him to figure out what that linebacker is doing. Now, you've got to do this on a man-to-man call, but on a zone, it's not going to work. Especially if it's a two deep zone with the cornerbacks kind of playing the flats. That's not going to work.
To your question about Anthony Grant too, Brad says start benching linemen for penalties in the red zone. I think you're deeper at running back than you are on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get the theory, and I would like to agree. I just don't know what Nebraska has behind its starting offensive line, especially if these guys are coming in cold and they haven't played snaps before. I think then you run the risk of them being even jumpier than the last guy. To your point on Ramir as well, Notorious B.I.B. says Ramir should be in the slot as a receiver. I'm with you. I think man coverage is a lot of what Colorado wants to do because I think Charles Kelly's going to trust his athletes to go one-on-one, that they're going to be better than
Right.
Nebraska's guys athletically. We saw, or we thought we were going to see Ramir Johnson as a slot receiver last year. But here's the thing. This is going to be huge on Jeff Sims, I think, more than anyone, partly on Marcus Satterfield. This is a guy that I hope is up in the box and seeing these things, but maybe Jeff Sims later. If you start Ramir Johnson out in the slot and there's a nickel corner on him, you bring his butt in the backfield and you run it. If there's a linebacker on the field in man coverage, you motion Ramir out to the slot, then you give him that route, right? You can play the matchups with a guy like that, right? But if you have a linebacker on Ramir Johnson and he's lined up in the backfield, don't run the ball. That's a mismatch for Colorado.
Yeah, you don't want to see a 3 wide receiver look and make them adjust to a nickel. Like you said, you want to, or even put a safety on them. You want to basically, they're going to show you a man look, and then they're going to adjust. Yeah, they're going to adjust. Eventually, they're going to adjust, and they're going to just basically shift the linebacker to the tight end, and then run the, then you got to figure out how to get him to the opposite side to get him on the up. So it's games you play, but I think you're onto something with that. I think you have to show them one look. Let them think that you're in base or that you're in base packages, and then run out into create mismatch situations. Because if you're in the zone, I think you would hope with a 2 route option for Jeff Sims, he can get and figure out 2 routes. I'm still worried about him coming off of 2 routes. I still think it's a 1 route dump off run mentality. I think, unfortunately, right now, I just don't feel confident of him coming off, getting to the second, or even going left. He's got to learn how to move his eyes, though. That's so important. I think with these safeties and with these DBs, you've got to move them. You especially if they're in zone. Do not focus on one guy. You've got to be able to make him think you're going middle, shift him over, and then come back on a dig, coming to the left side. You've got to do that. If they don't do that, you're going to be in trouble.
Absolutely. Two Card Monty on the YouTube stream again says, thoughts on run plays to the outside with pulling linemen to lay big hits on Travis Hunter, get in his head, then run Marcus Washington on play action pass. I said something similar. I don't know if lineman on Travis Hunter works all that well. Dude's a freak athlete. Dude is insane. He'll see it coming from a mile away. To me, you engage Travis Hunter with whoever that wide receiver is, right? This is where I love the idea of an Alex Bullock or a Ty Hahn, even a, Fredonia or Borkacher in space. Get those guys out there that can, have a shot of getting hands on. If it's a lineman, Travis Hunter's running around him.
It's very similar in the basketball realm of what a game plan was against Steph Curry. Right? You be physical with him, you put body on him, you post him up, you bang him because you want to take them legs out so that three. That's what you're getting at when you're just all you're trying to do is make him work. You don't want him to have, now he's in great shape. You don't want him to have so much energy that he's freaking playing 111 plays on both sides of the ball. You don't want that. You want him to be over there sucking air because he's having to work so hard and getting blocked all day. Yeah.
Yep. And I think you do that with the receivers, not the offensive linemen. That's at least my thought with it. But hit him.
Even that, because if you're physical and you're driving from the receiver spot, you're still going to have to take it on and read, and then you're going to have to expend energy either way. So I like where you're going with that.
I'm putting an IHOP Village Inn Cracker Barrel breakfast on whichever wide receiver pancakes him the most.
Yeah.
Right. Get him to the ground, because then by the end of the game, you're being that physical. He's going to be frustrated that he hasn't been able to make a play, hasn't been able to get his hands on an interception. He's going to try even harder to make a play and get him on a double move later when he's tired.
I like it.
Trying so hard to make a play. So definitely get the theory. Let's take a break right now. We didn't really talk much about the defense. I think there's a lot of guys that are interesting to talk about for the Nebraska defense. Who are some of those important guys? And Ben on the text line, I told you we'd get to your question. It's still in the back of our mind. Just how big is this game? Just how important is this game for this Nebraska team and this program? What does it mean? We'll dive into that and more as we continue here on The Block.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info, or call 402-467-1627.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Tailored Lights is your go-to local manufacturer and installer of the best landscape lighting. Tailored Lights is excited to highlight the architecture of your home or business and provide a warm environment that feels safe. And for those outside the Lincoln area, they do ship across the country and are happy to work with anyone near or far with lights anywhere from 18 inches to 110 inches. Enhance your curb appeal with an exquisite tailored light today. Call 402-432-2572 or go to tailoredlights.com.
Acres, your John Deere dealers, offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't delay. Visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices. Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We've got plenty left to get to here in the last half hour of our show. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland on this little program we'd like to call On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. All right, Strick, we spent a lot of time on the offense last segment in terms of the most important players. As you look at this Husker defense and this matchup with Colorado, who stand out to you as some important players for the Huskers on Saturday?
Oh, on the defensive side, I definitely think the front has got to be good. The front with the combination of the linebackers of getting pressure to Shedeur Sanders. Then I'm going to next turn it over. I think Gifford, and because they had 3 receivers that had over 100 yards. So you've got to think Q is going to be okay. You think Harzog is going to be solid.
Has a chance.
But it's that third one that you've got to be careful on. I think as I look back on it, I think that's one of the reasons, even as good as sometimes we played against Ohio State, that would be how we would get beat. Because over time, it would finally be Like you contain a couple of them, and then freaking Jig, would just break loose, and he would be the third guy. He'd be the slot guy, and we just didn't have enough to cover him. So this is right here, I think, is going to be one of the best challenges to test the 3-3-5, because you're going to get the ball slung around a little bit with some running.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to contain the run game? So the front, it's disciplines up front, and being able to make tackles and in space as well. And then what are you going to do with those guys in the back as they're, I think you'll be able to handle the first two guys. I still think Travis Hunter is a tough matchup, but I think you've got to keep Q on him. Put your best on best.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's their best guy.
Well,
because he can house stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
he'll Randy Moss you like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, and you want to have somebody that definitely can meet that challenge.
I'd love to go back and watch even more about just how Quentin Newsome's been used at Nebraska. I haven't seen him do a lot of shadowing from what I can remember, but I'm with you. Just follow Travis Hunter across the field. Trust your best guy to be your best guy. Apart from that, are you having everyone else zone up? Are you having them play man-to-man so you can be a little more creative with some of your front guys? How do you approach this if you're Tony White?
Well, I definitely, with their speed, I definitely wouldn't want to leave guys open on crossing patterns with guys crossing in front of you with that type of speed and catch and abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely I would lean more in the zone blitz category, which I noticed a couple of times in the third quarter when TCU had zone blitzed them. I watched some zone blitzes. I saw some stuff coming off the slot corner. I saw some stuff coming off the linebacker, some stunt actions in the middle that was mixing them up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
which was allowing them to get to Shador. And
Right.
that's kind of where, that helped TCU. And so I would stick more to the zone blitz schemes as opposed to just all out blitzes or things like that, but definitely have them coming from different places.
I'm with you. I think zone makes a lot of sense. Again, I think that's a way you can kind of mitigate some of that athletic advantage, right? Stay responsible. I saw this asked from a couple people as we were doing the happy hour, and Nick and Rico were talking about, a little bit of bend, don't break. Like you can give up yards, but hold strong in the red zone, yada, yada. This isn't supposed to be a bend, not break defense. This is supposed to be a departure from what we've seen the last, handful of years with Eric Shenander defenses. Tony White's talked about speed, aggression, creating turnovers, making some of those big plays. You had the one interception by Omar Brown in week 1. This is a game that I think Nebraska's defense has to be solid, right? Be consistent in its execution in that zone that we think we should see them play.
I would try to keep Gifford more on tight ends than
Mm-hmm.
I would more Omar Brown on a third receiver. I would
absolutely
like that matchup better.
Right. But this is a game I don't think that is a bend, don't break style, right? I think Nebraska needs to kind of get away from that, right? Boom or bust isn't necessarily what other people might want to hear, but Nebraska does need some big plays. It's going to take a turnover to steal a possession in this game. It's going to take a sack to, make Colorado be behind the chains. And that's going to go a long way, right? We haven't seen enough of that from Nebraska. So I think we're so used to bend, not break. We're kind of slipping back into calling it that. But I don't think that can be the case for Nebraska. They have to be aggressive while they're responsible.
Yeah, you're going to have to make Shador speed up because TCU didn't. But when they did, they had some success. They were able to get a couple of big sacks. There were a couple plays that helped them to actually get back into the game because they were kind of down, but there were a couple of sacks, couple of turnovers and plays that made them, not turnovers, but getting behind the chains that made them turn the ball over by way of special teams. So it was we need to do that. It's a must. You're going to have to make him beat you. He's capable. We know that, but in this, sometimes I think it's getting out early. If you jump out on this Colorado team early and make them in their minds, because they play pretty comfortable in that game. Yes, they made plays when they had to get, to bounce back. It's easy for a bounce back than it is for being down.
Sure.
Different types of playmaking, but they have guys that can do it. So that's the part you got to figure out.
We go to the Starter Heyman text line, and Ben sent this in at about 2:30. We've been sitting on it because I think it's an interesting point to bring up and discuss. Ben says this is easily the most important game in recent Nebraska history. There's more to it, but I just want to break down that first sentence. I'll give you the floor first. Is this the most important game in recent Nebraska football history?
I think so.
Explain. Talk about it.
And it goes back to what I said. I think if you're trying to turn a program around, when you're on this type of just think of what that win at TCU did in the eyes of. Okay, here's the example. Thank you. This is the example I'm talking about. Okay. That game, there were so many eyes on this game, from professionals to, all that, right? There's a Florida player down there that has a professional brother, right? Running back, ATN, right? Gets tweeted from, it was either brother, I think it was his brother, gets tweeted, and he says, maybe you should look at Colorado. He's in Florida. Maybe you should look at. So what I'm saying is, on that stage, when you perform, it does so much for the eyes of those who are watching, and the recruiting and parents and all of that are saying, wow, it's different. Man, I could see my son. Boy, what if? You know what I mean? You start having those. I think Nebraska needs that moment. They haven't really had that moment. Great win against Iowa to end the season last year. I think confidence-wise, it does a lot for them. They haven't had that moment. They're going to get 2 early moments to do that. This is one of them, and then the Michigan game.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's where I was going to go. Would you rather have that breakthrough win against Colorado or against Michigan?
Both.
If you can only pick one.
But I think right now, you got to seize the moment, not weeks later, because why? It's going to be dry against. If you lose this game is more important, I think, because if you lose this game, you come home dry. Who's going to be super excited about Northern Illinois? Then you might, if you get to looking over or get to thinking that, yeah, we're home now, and you just think you might end up with a who was that got us last year?
It was Georgia Southern.
You freaking mess around and end up with a Georgia Southern situation. Now you're down 0-3. Then La Tech comes in. Okay, you maybe get that one, but there's no fire, fervor, flavor when you going into Michigan. I think if you win this one, you put yourself on, you come back on a super high, then you're going to want to put yourself in a position for that next one. You got to stay in the moment. I think you got to stay in the moment. That's why I think this one's important, because otherwise it's going to be dry going into a Michigan.
I think this is maybe the most important game for fans because of what it means. I think it's maybe the most important game
regional recruiting,
in terms of regional recruiting, and in terms of national perception and national narrative. I don't think it's the most important game this season for the program.
No,
I don't think it can be. It's a non-conference game between 2 teams that combined to win 5 games last year. Right. And I get it. We have 1 week of data for this year, and that's important. You have to factor that in. Nebraska's season isn't over if it loses to Colorado.
No.
You can still bounce back, get to 2-2 by the time Michigan comes to town. Yeah, sure, you're probably a little deflated. You had Minnesota on the ropes, should have closed. Who knows how Colorado, goes. Say you lose, you're 0-2. It sucks. You don't want to be there. The conversation gets worse. You have 2 weeks of non-conference life. You can build up and win those. I think it would mean more to this locker room to beat Michigan than it would Colorado. Colorado, I think, has done a good job of, playing it up of, oh yeah, Nebraska, I don't know about him, but I hate him. Colorado's done a good job of that. We haven't heard a lot of that out of Nebraska. I just think a win over a more recent power, a team that is ranked number 2 in the country, coming into your building in the first home conference game of the season, Michigan's better than Colorado. I think this locker room would respond better to a win over Michigan, even if it does come 3 weeks later, than a win over Colorado. Now, a win over Michigan is much less likely than a win over Colorado. There's a legitimate path to victory for Nebraska over Colorado, and you're 100% right. This program needs a spark.
Yeah.
Getting it this week with this many eyeballs on them would be huge. I think it would go a long way to get a win, get it under your belt, come back home, then be 3-1 instead of hoping for 2-2 as Michigan comes into town. But to call it the most important game in recent Husker memory, I think is a stretch. It's the biggest game this week. It's the most important game this week. That has to be the approach, because think about last year, right? Georgia Southern was the biggest game, right? Because you started to hear rumblings of the hot seat. You thought Oklahoma could be the biggest game because, hey, if you're 3-0 heading into Oklahoma, what could that turn into? You weren't. The year before that, in 2021, Michigan State was the biggest game on the schedule. A surprise top 20 team, but if you're Nebraska, you're 2-2, but that's a winnable game, right? You win that one, who knows how that season looks? Like, that was, I think, more important for the program, because that might have been, with a win, a turning point for Scott Frost in that program. So, yeah, it's important to the fans, but in terms of the direction and the health of the program, I'm not sure this is the most important game.
Okay. Yeah. Great point.
So that's my 2 cents on it.
No pushback on it. I mean, I gave you my 2 cents, and what's your 2 cents? Sutter Heyman Tech Line, we thank you guys. Great stuff as always. You guys are always handling business there. Let's see. Texter 7773 says, you're playing a fool's game if you think the bettors know something. Nobody actually knows how this game will play out. If there's more money on Colorado, the line will move. Vegas won't lose. They'll balance the bets. So it's a good thing that we're not Iowa and we're not worried about balancing the bets. But, if I was a betting man, I've already said that I think Nebraska wins this game, and I'm going to stick with it.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think I agree. Pretty sure I agree. Gonna save my official prediction for tomorrow. 3.5 being the spread is a fascinating number, because if Colorado kicks a walk-off field goal like Minnesota did last week, that's a Nebraska win.
That's a win
against the spread. Man, I just don't know. Again, let's hit the second part of Ben's text then, because I think it's important too. Ben also says, but I do feel like I've been taking crazy pills with everyone writing this off as an automatic loss. TCU was not good at all. TCU fell into Colorado's trap. I still think that's a talented team, an athletic team that Colorado out-schemed to some degree. I don't think that there are Husker fans writing this off as an automatic loss, not too many of them, but I don't think there are many saying, oh yeah, it's a sure win, right? Like, it's Colorado.
No.
This game got a lot more interesting because of how last week went for both teams.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I'm sticking to that. I still think there's a winnable path. I think that they have to do a certain amount of things. And I think Jeff's got to have a bounce back. I think he's got to have a bounce back. Is he capable of doing that? I'm still unsure. But again, I'm sticking with my call, and I'm going to say that I think Nebraska's going to pull it off.
We got to get our last break of the show in. Text line, you're on fire. Again, is Colorado the biggest game of the season for Nebraska? Let us know, 402-464-5685. We've got a handful of thoughts on the Sutter Heyman text line. We'll get to more to wrap up the show next.
Winning a new truck playing Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery changes a person. I used to drive around hills. Now I drive over them. I used to hate helping friends move. Now I can do it in one trip. I used to own my own tech company. Now I'm on the professional rodeo circuit. Actually, I'm going back to tech. Bulls are really mean, and I just don't look good in chaps.
Play Trucks and Bucks from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds, 1 in 336,000.
The Nebraska Lottery has given over $900 million back to our state since 1993. The proceeds have helped protect and improve Nebraska's environment, funded need-based scholarships for Nebraska students, and maintained and improved facilities at the state fair.
That's terrific. You should put that on your website.
It already is. Just click on beneficiaries in the menu.
Menu? You guys serve food too?
Maybe you should get off your feet for a while.
The Nebraska Lottery. 30 years of building a better Nebraska.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660, A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Imagine a world where no one explains the rules of the game. Just go out there and do your best, kid. But your best isn't good enough. Junior Achievement is working on leveling the playing field. We need your support. Suit up. It's game time.
Visit ja.org/volunteer.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Muchachos has been Lincoln's leader for New Mexican barbecue for a few years now, and they've expanded into Omaha. That's right, you can get all your favorites like the pipeline burrito with 3 meats, rice, beans, queso, and crushed chips, or any of their great taco options in Lincoln or Omaha. Plus, they want to give back, as the Malachi Coleman Give-A-Rito, a 2-meat hatchback burrito, gives proceeds to the Fly Like Kai Foundation for the Lincoln foster care community. Stop by Muchachos in Lincoln at 11th and L, or in Omaha at 1258 South 13th Street.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Join us at this year's Ignite Lincoln 15 at Rococo Theater on Thursday, September 14th for an inspiring night of stories that spark change. Get your tickets at ignitelincoln.org. Don't miss this chance to be a part of something extraordinary. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting on September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up On the Block on the text line. Again, let us know, 402-464-5685. For some reason, we have the LIBA thing up behind us. Let me get that fixed real quick. Okay, Colorado, was that the most important game on Nebraska's schedule? 402-464-5685. Early returns, Strick, say that I'm dumb, and that Colorado really is the biggest game. Pretty much everyone agrees with you. They're saying you don't want to get, demoralized on national TV, and especially not by Dion. Huge stage, big rivalry. Mike says beating Colorado is a bigger win because it shows the players they can win as a team. They can finish. And someone else asks, Derek asks, could this be the game that lifts the hex on Nebraska? Old Big 8 foe could be a turning point if we win, and we will.
Yeah.
Okay. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know. There's no need for me to go back over it, but yeah, I just something about the stage, the time, your regional recruiting, you raise your bar, your standard, your confidence. It's on the road. You know what I mean? You basically cut the head off the snake. You know what I'm saying? It's so much to this to me. You go into the Michigan game. There's nobody expecting you to win that game at all. You just don't want you to get blown out. But I would love going into that game with a little bit more spunk than to kind of be limping into it.
I'm with you. Funny you bring up head of the snake. Someone says this is important, so Rule, doesn't look like a snake oil salesman just looking to get the bag and get out of here. Jason says, I think the media and the fans are putting too much pressure on a first-year head coach who has to build the program from scratch. I get it, but I don't, right? The bowl game thing is a fair expectation in year one, right? I mean, it's a wins and losses business. It's a results business. You have to be patient, but you also can't give too much leash, give too much runway, right? There has to be that sense of urgency. And I think the fact that fans are disappointed by Minnesota and that fans are clamoring for a win over Colorado, especially with the heightened stakes now after week one, maybe that's the kick in the shorts that the program needs. Like, hey, we have time, but we don't have as much time as we think. Let's get this in gear before it's too late.
Text line to me, would you feel more comfortable with Jeff Sims or Casey Thompson? That's one. Do you, if he was still here? Now we can't go back on it, but just you've seen him and you've got a short taste of that. The other thing is, how do you feel about that Jeff Sims? Is it a place to where they feel that this has set the program back a few years? There's some sentiments out there. There's some people that are saying that they believe that the Jeff Sims experiment is one that could set the Nebraska program back at least 2 to 3 years. I'm just saying that's what I've heard, but that's what some are saying. I just want to hear from you. If that's something that you kind of feel that this has kind of put a delay on it, or do you feel it could get turned around? I think at this point, you kind of know what you got. You just got to figure out how to put your program together to work within that system of what you got.
Absolutely. We'll wrap up the show with this from 6930. Man, everyone just always gets so caught up in the moment. League games matter. 2 months from now, no one will remember this game. I get the sentiment. I think with a loss, it'll just kind of be filed away as, oh, there's another one. We've been through this before. No big deal. But I think to your point, and a lot of the text line would agree with you, a win over Colorado, even if it is just one game, could feel like a turning point, especially if it's a close game. Nebraska gets out of its way and it finishes a game because it's Colorado, because of the history there. Yeah, it might be forgotten in 2 months if it's a loss, but I think your argument is if it's a win, this could be the spark. It could be something. Is that fair?
That's the way I view it. I think it's definitely a better spark coming in home, and then, looking at Michigan in the face and saying, hey, what's up? Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We'll give our final predictions, some final thoughts on Nebraska and Colorado tomorrow. So tune in for that from 2 to 4. I'll be here. Stricky's hitting the road. He'll be up in Denver. So if you're there at the Blur tailgate party, say hi to the entire crew, but say hi to Stricky especially.
Yes. I'm going to see you. I might either be in the stadium or definitely at Blur. Let's go.
There you go. Plenty of the ticket family, the ticket crew will be out there. Stop by Blur, say hi. We'll be at the game as well. That'll do it for On the Block. We got DP coming in for Old School here in just a sec. Sounds like Jay's going to be on stream for the second hour. Thanks for tuning in with us these last couple hours. It's been a blast. Sartor Heyman text line, YouTube comment section. As always, we appreciate you guys. For Strick, I'm Austin. Old School comes your way next right here, 93.7 The Ticket.
An energy tip from LES. Schedule a furnace or heat pump check to ensure your heating system runs at its peak efficiency before winter arrives. Learn more easy ways to save at les.com.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering hot financing on all new compact tractors. For a limited time, get 0% interest for 84 months when you buy any new John Deere compact tractor. And with a variety of attachments, you'll make quick work of chores around your acreage. From mowing to grading and moving large loads, Acres has a John Deere tractor to handle your toughest projects. Don't visit your local Acres store to take advantage of this great offer. Acres, solutions for every field. Offer expires September 30th, 2023, subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on